Hey, welcome to the Explainer. So today, we're going to dive into a framework for making your AI applications truly reliable. And we're borrowing some amazing insights from developer Dmitry Kuchin. All right, let's jump in. Let's start with a problem that I swear every single AI developer knows all too well. Getting that proof of concept up and running, the one that works some of the time, that's actually the easy part, surprisingly. But then, how do you bridge that massive gap to get a production-ready app that works all the time? Man, that is incredibly hard. Well, this challenge actually has a name. It's called the AI reliability gap. And here's why it's so tricky. See, unlike regular software where you know what you're going to get, with AI models, they're non-deterministic. That means any little tweak you make to the code, your prompts, even the data, it can have these totally unexpected ripple effects across the whole system. So getting your AI app to work for that other 50% of cases, the tricky ones, the edge cases, that's going to take a completely different way of thinking than what most of us are used to. All right, so you've got this big challenge. How do most teams even begin to tackle it? Well, funny enough, they often fall into a really common trap. It sounds logical, but it's a trap nonetheless.
The default move? It's to reach for what you already know, right? You grab those abstract data science-y metrics to measure how the AI is doing. Seems totally reasonable. Let's just measure how good the AI is.
But, and this is a big but, here's the problem. Metrics like factuality or groundedness, they sound impressive, but they don't really tell you if the thing is actually helping your users. The real story, the meaningful metric, is found in what the user does. For instance, how often does a user just give up on the AI and scream for a human agent? That number, that escalation rate, that tells you the true story of whether you're succeeding or failing.
And this quote, oh man, it just nails it. Like Dmitry Kuchin points out, you can have a support bot that is 100% factual, perfectly grounded in all the right documents, but it still completely fails to give the user the simple, direct answer they need. And that's the key insight here, right? Factual does not mean useful.
Okay, so if chasing those abstract metrics is the trap, what's the way out? Well, it's a pretty fundamental shift in how you approach the whole idea of testing. You've got to completely reverse engineer your tests, or what we'll call evals. You start with the end goal, the user's success, that ideal product experience. You don't start with the AI. You start with the user. Let's make this super concrete, because this is really the heart of the whole thing. So for a bank's support bot, you don't just ask some vague question like, was the answer good? No way. Instead, check out this table. For a super specific question like, how do I reset my password? You build an equally specific checklist. Did the AI's answer mention the crucial detail about the SMS code? Yes or no? Did it tell you what to do if you don't have a phone? These are simple pass-fail questions tied directly to what a real user needs to know. And this right here reveals something huge. Those universal off-the-shelf eval tools, they're just not going to cut it. You can't just download a solution for this. You literally have to build your own suite of these super specific evals that copycat real user questions and their unique success criteria. The bottom line is your tests have to be just as specific as your product is. So, this whole philosophy leads to a new way of working, a really practical and powerful development cycle. It's called the evals first process. Let me walk you through how it works. So here's the flow, and it's totally backwards from how we normally do things. Instead of testing at the end, you build your evaluations right at the very beginning. Before you even touch the app in a serious way, you define what success looks like. This becomes your safety net for the entire project. And here is why that is so important. Whenever you make a change to your AI, maybe you tweak a prompt or swap in a new model to fix one little bug, it's almost guaranteed you're going to break something else that was working perfectly fine before. We call that a regression. And these evals first tests, they are the only way you're going to catch those regressions automatically and right away. So by running these tests over and over and always improving them, you build something incredibly valuable. You build a baseline. Think of it as your benchmark, your solid proof that your application is consistently meeting the real, documented needs of your users. And look, having that baseline, that is what unlocks true, confident experimentation. It gives you the green light to try a cheaper, faster model. Maybe you want to experiment with a totally different architecture or simplify your prompts to save some cash. You can do all of that without flying blind because you'll know instantly if your changes broke anything important.
Okay, so what's the big payoff here? What does this all add up to? Well, it all comes together to create a fundamentally better and, frankly, more confident way to build with AI. When you adopt this method, the benefits are huge. First, you get rapid, predictable progress and way fewer of those painful regressions. Second, you get the freedom to optimize your solution for cost and speed without guessing. And you achieve something else. Something really remarkable that everyone's always talking about. You actually achieve a real, practical, powerful form of explainable AI. And I don't mean that in some fuzzy academic sense. I mean it in a way that actually matters. You know precisely what your solution does and exactly why it works for your users. Why? Because you're the one who defined and tested for that specific success right from day one. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to asking yourself one simple question. Are my tests built to measure the AI, or are they built to measure my user's success? Shifting your focus from the model to the user's goal, that right there is the secret to finally conquering that 50% gap and building AI that truly, reliably works.